Hi, welcome back to another episode of Love and Gratitude. I know it's been a long time since I recorded an episode because my last episode was like over a month ago, and I'm so sorry that it's been so long, but I was feeling very, very bad in the last few weeks, so you really have to excuse me. And I can't really say that I feel good now because usually I'm always like super energetic and I always feel good. But I still feel like I don't want to say I'm depressed because depression is a decision. You can consciously decide if you want to feel good or not. But sometimes you're like you don't really have energy, You feel drained and you feel exhausted because of life, because of the events and because of what's happening. So I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but I'm still very excited to be here right now to sit in front of this camera and to talk to you because I need this. I need to talk to you. I don't know if you need to listen or if you want to listen, but I'm very happy that you're here, and I'm very happy that I'm finally here sitting in front of the camera and that I showed up, because I told myself, Rookie, you really have to show up now. It's been over a month. The last time since you recorded an episode, so you really have to talk now. And that's why I'm sitting here and I'm welcoming you again to a new episode. I don't know how I'm gonna call this episode, maybe showing up or something, or don't give up, because this is going to be more an emotional episode. Because I'm gonna, I don't really want to talk about something new today. I really want to share my past experiences, like in these weeks, in the past few weeks. And because I've been going through a lot, and I'm probably not the only one feeling that way. Probably you're feeling the same way as me, because I feel like many people are struggling right now. And you know what? I have a theory. So my theory is that since the new energy, the new earth is shifting, the new frequency, the frequency of the new earth is shifting, is changing, conscious people or people who want to develop themselves, they're more being challenged. That's my theory, my personal theory. I don't know what you think, but there is no way why I am being challenged so bad, seriously. And I just I'm all the time laying in bed and I'm all the time thinking, I don't want to feel anything anymore. I just don't want to feel anything anymore. And I wish I could turn off my feelings, just like that, because it's so heavy. And I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but just 5 minutes ago, while I was getting ready for the episode, I was crying. Because I'm crying all the time, and I don't know why this is happening, because nothing is under control. Nothing. And everything is going wrong. And every time when I think, okay, it can't get worse now, then all of a sudden it's getting worse. And I really don't know what to think about this anymore. I really don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. And, I don't like to get personal. I don't like to share my personal problems or my feelings or, just my problems. And because I'm hiding everything deep inside, and I have this wall around me. And for me, it's always very, very hard to tell you my true feelings, my authentic feelings. And not just to you, but to my best friend or to my mom. We're not talking anymore because I'm gonna tell you in a few minutes, because I'm hiding everything inside, and for me it's so difficult to talk about my true feelings and to say it, to put it in words. And it's actually so simple to just talk, I know, and communication is the key, actually, I know. But for me, since I grew up not being listened and not being heard, I don't feel like I need to explain or myself or to express my feelings, you know? For me, it's very difficult to do this because I was always hiding everything and always alone with this, like with my own feelings and trying to handle everything on my own and by myself. Because, you know, when I had problems, I was a very shy girl back then when I was younger, and my parents, they were not really listening. And they really didn't care about my feelings because, you know, I was always like bad in school, or I had problems with my teachers and I was getting bullied, but I was always crying. I couldn't really tell them since they were always busy with their own lives. And, you know, when your parents, you're safe people, you're a safe person, when your mom, for example, is not really listening to you and she's not really there for you, then you grow up alone and trying to, you know, trying to handle yourself by yourself, your own emotions and your feelings, and you're like all the time telling yourself, oh, I can do it on my own. It's not a problem, it's not a big deal. And now, since I'm older and my problems are bigger, since I am also bigger, I'm really trying my best to handle these things. But I can't really talk about my problems. And I don't want to be too personal in this podcast too, because as I said, I have this wall around me, and I don't want to get hurt, or I don't want to give you a chance to bully me because of what I'm telling you, because this is something that I experienced when I was a child. I was telling my friends and they were using this against me, so I was feeling even worse, you know, and then I was regretting it. And that's why I'm not even telling anything to my parents. I was having some big problems with my exams, with my work, or with my parents. And right now we are in this situation where we are not talking with each other. And I don't know how to handle it because nobody's really talking to each other. And there is a problem, you know, something happens, something big happens. And there was a big drama, an event, but it was always this way that like few days later, everything was normal again. Everything turned back to normal, but nobody talks about that problem, and everyone is ignoring it, you know, and no one is trying to fix it. And for me, it was always working that way. Few years ago, me and my friend and I and my family, we went together on vacation, and we had a big drama, okay? Big drama going on, big problems. And she was like, girl, why are you acting like everything is normal? Because it's not, obviously. Like, this is a big problem and you should fix it. You know, you guys should fix it and you guys should talk about it, because she was seeing what we were experiencing, what I was going through with my parents, because we were having problems with each other and we were discussing and, you know, screaming at each other and just, yeah, having a big drama. But nobody was fixing the problem and everyone was acting like nothing happened like few days later. And she was like, what is this? This is so toxic, actually. But you know, it was always that way, because there was a problem and my parents, they always want to be right, and they don't really think that I have my own opinion since I grew up in a Turkish household. You know, this is like something that I want to change in my family, because this dynamics, it's wrong. It's not these patterns in their heads. It's wrong. It's not right. It's toxic. You know, you have to listen to your child. You have to respect your child. Respect is not one-sided. Respect is, you have to respect your parents, of course, but you also have to respect your child, because this is so important. You have to respect the opinion of your child, and you have to respect the freedom of your child, because I am 24 and my parents, they can't control me anymore, but you know, they always want to control me. And when I'm out of control, they are scared, and then they are acting because of being scared. And that's the worst thing, like acting out of fear and you know, doing even worse things to your child. So why? You know, I'm asking my parents, why? why do you think that way? I mean, of course I understand, because it's because of their own parents, because they saw it that way. They were being taught that way. So because of that, we were having big problems, and right now I'm not talking to my parents and they're not talking to me. We're avoiding each other, and but this is so unfair, because there is a problem, and nobody is really trying to fix it, and I don't care about it anymore, because I was always the one who was trying to fix it, who was trying to take a step forward. But I'm done. I'm seriously done. And I don't want to have drama in my life anymore, because I already have a lot of drama in my life. And, just it's all about respecting each other, and it's all about tolerating each other, and all about love and gratitude. Everything leads to respect, tolerance, love, and gratitude. And for example, if you're lacking respect, then you have to work on it. But if there's only one side working on it and the other side doesn't care, the other side always says, no, I am right, and because I'm older than you, I'm your dad, I'm your mom, you have to listen to us. No, it's not gonna work, because I'm not a child, and this is something they have to work on to understand this, but they can't, obviously. So that's why I'm just leaving it, the way it is, because once they realize it, then they will see what they were doing to me. And it was really unfair, because I don't deserve it. Then I'm like crying, and I'm trying to understand why this is happening, because I'm like, I didn't do anything to deserve that. But then actually, I'm like looking, and I'm thinking back, and then I always wished for being more strong, or getting stronger, and being like a strong person, and forming myself in a good way, so I can be a good daughter, I can be a good sister, I can be a good friend, I can be a good mom one day. And probably this everything what I'm going through leads to that point, that I'm gonna get better. I am gonna be a better version of myself, and not just the trouble with my parents, but also I started working a new job, and I love my job so much, and I'm so blessed, really. I'm such a lucky girl. But of course, it's also very hard, sometimes difficult, because I'm learning so much. I'm learning so many new things, and I'm so grateful for this, because knowledge is power. You can take everything from me, you can take everything, but you can't take my knowledge. You can't take my wisdom. Everything I know, okay, I still don't know everything, but I'm so happy to learn new things, and I'm very excited for tomorrow, for example, because I know that I'm going to learn new things. And then I'm like being more grateful, and I'm more calmed down, because even if I go through bad things, or like trouble or drama, even at work, like, because some people, they are really draining, they're taking away the energy, they're sucking the energy out of me. And this is so difficult for me, because because I am a person with a lot of energy, I have so much energy. And the thing is that when there's someone who is draining the energy out of me, I feel like a sponge, I feel like a sponge without any water, like dry, very, very dry. And I can't talk anymore. I really don't have the energy to move even, or to talk. And this is the worst. And some people, they are mean, and which I really don't understand, because why are you being mean to another person just because you're unsatisfied with your own life? And I also see this in my own parents. They are really unsatisfied with their own lives. They don't really change anything. They're not really changing anything, and this is the problem. And when you're not evolving, when you're not developing yourself, no matter how old you are, it doesn't matter if you're 50 or 5, you're always evolving. You're always developing yourself. yourself. And that's the main point, because that's a universal law, and that's like the purpose of life, to develop yourself and to be a better version of yourself. And unfortunately, my parents, they are stuck in their own hole and in their own little space, in their comfort zone, which is very sad, because I am that person. I'm the complete opposite. I'm all the time, learning new people, getting to know new things, and having new experiences, going out for events, and meeting new people, seeing new things, learning new things, evolving and developing myself, and trying my best to not be stuck. But my parents, they can't understand this. And not just my parents, but many people are stuck in their lives, and they're like stuck in that cage, and they're like not really trying anything to get out of this cage. But I'm trying, and they can't see it, and they don't understand. So that's why for me it's better to distance myself from these people. And which is very sad, actually, because even if it means that you have to distance yourself from your own parents, do it anyways, because you need a healthy environment, a good environment for you, and you should never be the smartest in the room. That's like something that I live by. And even though if it means that you have to go through a lot, but we grow through what we go through, and there are always some lower lows before the higher highs, if you know what I mean. You always have to go through something big, something bad, something that is breaking your heart. My heart is broken. It's really bad for me, because I'm crying all the time and I have no energy, and I feel like my body's aching. It's really bad. I can't control it anymore. I can't do anything, and I'm trying my best, but I'm laying in bed and I'm super being lazy, and I had exams. It was also very exhausting for me, and because I'm struggling with so much, you can't imagine. But that's a blessing, that's a gift. And you know what? Actually, I'm telling this myself. This is my mirror effect. What I'm telling you is actually what I need to hear, because one person is always reflecting his inner side, his inner. And this is something that I need to tell myself, and I'm doing this actually. And I'm working in myself, I'm trying to heal myself, and I know that it's not gonna happen just right away, right now, tomorrow, or in 1 week, but I know that it's a process. And even though I feel stuck sometimes too, I know that it's like a little progress that I'm making step by step. And I must admit that in the last few days, since I'm over the exam season, the first exam season, I have a second exam season, which is in September, and which I have to study for all the time, and I don't really have a summer break. Which is not a problem, because here the weather is so rainy all the time, which is also not a bad sign, but I'm grateful for everything, of course. But I wanted to go for a swim, I wanted to go to the lakes, I wanted to go outside, just do something outside, but when it's rainy you can't really go for a swim. But anyways, and so I'm laying in bed, I'm trying to heal myself, I'm trying to take care of myself. I was baking, actually, I can show you just here the muffin. I was baking some muffins just like a few minutes ago, and actually we're matching with the colors. And I just love chocolate muffins. Oh my god, I love everything. I love everything that has to do with chocolates, like chocolatey chocolate cake or souffle. Oh my god, I was eating so much souffle in the last few weeks, because my best friend, he was taking good care of me. He was helping me, and he was all the time feeding me souffle. I love all of my friends, and I love you too if you're listening to this. Always, I just want to share my personal story, my personal experiences, because I know that I'm not the only one going through this, and I feel like I'm stuck in this labyrinth, and I feel like there is no progress. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to achieve my goals and going after my dreams. And when you're listening to my speeches or to my recent previous episodes, you know that I'm always like motivated and I'm going after my dreams and chasing my best self, trying to become my best self and whatever. But sometimes you may feel like you're stuck, and that's totally fine, but keep it under control. That's very important, because you have to be disciplined. You have to, you can take care of yourself. Of course, it also matters if you're a woman or a man, because women, they need more time to heal and to, to take care of themselves, because men, they're more disciplined and they can handle it more easy, I would say. But we women, we need more time, we need more energy and whatever, more rest especially. And so I was resting a lot, and no matter what happens, you may feel like you're stuck in this labyrinth, just like me, or you probably feel like nothing is working right now. You're having so much stress and so many problems right now, so many things going on, so much chaos. But still, it's up to you how you're handling this. It's all about your mindset. It's all about how you see this, how you perceive it, and how you're observing it. Because I see it as a gift. I'm struggling a lot. I must admit that I'm crying a lot and I'm suffering a lot. But this is fine, it's fine. And I know that there is something waiting for me after this suffering time, after this situation, after this season. Yesterday I was talking to my friend and he said, Rookie, this is a season. Sometimes, as I said, there are lower lows before the higher highs. And life is not linear. Life is just like a roller coaster. And I know that you know this, and I know that I also know it, but sometimes we have to remind ourselves about that. And about the fact that we should always be grateful no matter what. And that's why it's all about love and gratitude. Oh my god, I should probably write a book about this, right? And yeah, no matter what is happening, I'm still happy and grateful, and I'm trying my best. I'm journaling, I'm reading a book. I started watching a new show. It's called The Summer I Turned Pretty. You probably know if you're a girl, because I feel like everyone is watching that, and everyone watched that already, and I didn't even know that there was this kind of show. But I must tell you that I'm not really watching shows because I don't really have the time to watch shows. But sometimes when I feel bad, then I do it, because then I'm like taking the time for resting and for distracting myself, because but it gets so boring. So then I'm throwing myself out. And I also started a new hobby. I started to play golf, actually, and I love it. And I'm on the path to be a profi, to be a professional golfer, and I'm very, very, very excited. And it's all about improving yourself and just trying your best to do something out of your life, because I'm always reminding myself I'm not gonna be 24 again, I'm not gonna be this young again, I'm not gonna be this pretty again and having this energy, so I'm trying my best to do something, and it's going well, but also sometimes it's hard and difficult, but there's always a solution for everything, and you're always gonna figure it out. You just have to really remind yourself that you're the best person, you're the best, and that you can do everything, because believing in yourself is the most important thing. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to love yourself, and no matter what is happening, that there is always God protecting you and supporting you. There is always God listening to you, and God knows. God knows what you're going through. And especially a bonus is when you have good people around you, like good friends, especially a good best friend, or someone you can share your problems with, a person you can just call and say, hey, I'm going through a lot of things. Can you please help me? Or what do you think about this? Yesterday I was talking to my friend, and then I was like, hey, I don't know what to do. Can you please tell me what I should do? And he was like, Rookie, you already know. Just listen to your heart, you already know. But then I was like, no, I don't know. Please, you have to tell me. Then he was telling me his opinion, and which was a good help, because sometimes I need it. I need to hear the opinion of others. I know it's my own life, and I can still decide for myself, and I'm still gonna decide for myself always. But sometimes it's good to hear another point of view, because it's like the mastermind, you know? The more people, the more brains, the more ideas, the more point of views, and the more perspectives. So then you're not just completely alone with your ego, because your ego is all the time telling you some bad things, you know, like is making up very bad scenarios in your head, or telling you like really bad things, and you actually feel worse than before, because you can't control yourself anymore, you can't control your emotions anymore. You're like really at the lowest point of your life, and you're just crying, you have no energy, and you don't know what to do. And for me, as I said, for me it's very hard to open up, to tell people about my problems, which is also something that I have to work on, but I don't know how to do this. So it's like a never-ending cycle, but I know that I'm gonna figure it out. No matter what is happening, I am still growing, which is a big blessing, and I'm so grateful. I'm so happy, and I'm so grateful, because you know, life is so beautiful, and we are all so nice. Like, we are human beings, and we are alive, we're blessed, you know. We have hands, we have eyes, we have a nose, we have beautiful hair. You know, you can just go and cook for yourself something, or you have feet, you have legs, you can just go out for a walk, or you can just go play tennis or something. You can do something, you can meet a friend, you know, you can go for a coffee, you have money in your pocket, even if it's just 5 euros. You can go and do something, you know. You can buy yourself a gum, whatever, or you can buy someone else a gum and make someone else happy. You can go out and spread love and positivity. You can make someone a compliment, you know, and like little gifts, you can share little gifts. It doesn't have to be material gifts, but just like kind words, you know. You can go and hug someone, and you know what? I must tell you that I need a really big hug. I need a really big and really like tight hug, because no one is hugging me like really tightly, you know. And I don't know, so maybe we can share a virtual hug right now. I don't know. I know that it's gonna be better, because I believe in that, and I believe that, you know, it's just making me stronger, and it's just making me better, and it's preparing me for something, because then I will be ready finally for the good things in life, and I'm super excited already. So that is a reason to not give up. And I don't know what you think about this, but let me know. You can share your thoughts, your opinion in the comment section, and I would be very excited to read it. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was more like an emotional episode for me. As I said, and I can't tell you the details because I can't do this. I'm not gonna do it. I will never, you know, be able to share the details of my life. But I still hope that I'm not the only one going through all of this. Probably you're going through many big things too. Probably you go through big problems or big struggles, but I just want to let you know that you're not alone, and I know that I'm also not alone. And you know, there are people who are in worse situations, so that's why we should count ourselves as blessed and lucky, and no matter what, because we're healthy and we're still able to wake up in the morning and open our eyes and go and eat something, you know, walk or see something or smell something or talk, you know, and everything else will fall into place. And just trust God and trust the process, and always believe in yourself, and always act with love and gratitude. And so I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Take care of yourself. Thank you for listening, and I'm sending you a lot of love, and always stay with love and gratitude.